How to rank in Google My Business on Google Maps. My name is Chris Palmer with ChrisPalmerMarketing.com, and in today's video, what I'd like to share with you is going to be 10, that's right, 10 ways that you can start improving your rank inside of Google My Business, Google Business Profile, or Google Maps. So I just want to go ahead and go through this for my members, for you, so you can get a ranking edge. So I do not want to waste any time. Let's get into these 10 tips. Let's go ahead and break this down. I'll go ahead and cover this with you today. So this is for the members. I want to go ahead and give you some, I'll go ahead and hook you up with this. So again, I am Chris Palmer. This is for the SEOmastermind.org. But do you actually care who I am? You want to know, how can I help you and your business, right? So let's go ahead and give you some real world practical information that you can actually utilize. You know, I could give you hypothesis, I could give you strategies and techniques and really big overview. But what you're really looking for is ways that you can literally take exactly what you've learned today and utilize it inside of your Google business profile, so you can start getting more phone calls and leads and traffic inside your maps listing. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So let's go ahead and get into this. And I want to kick this off with, do websites actually help your Google My Business listing? Do they actually help? Well, in this particular case, we have a electrician that we were utilizing for some testing. We were running a little bit of citations, and we actually set up some, Web 2.0 properties. We set up some very basic profiles in order to get the ball rolling, pointing at the Google Business Profile. Now, with that being said, I want to go ahead and share with you a before and, of course, an after. But please note that this section here is where the business is, and where this business is located is a very small area, very tiny city. A large city, but a small city for a relatively hard key term. So, needless to say, this particular business owner was relatively happy, but this was months ago. That's why I don't mind sharing this with you today. But in any case, will a website actually help your business rank? Well, of course. This is establishing the entity for your business. You're making the co-occurrence. You're building out the footprint. You're finishing or connecting the dots for Google. This is massively helpful, massively important, and this test goes ahead and showcases this. And we run these tests. You can check this out at SEOmastermind.org. There will be a new version of that launching tonight. On top of that, Chris Palmer Marketing for any of your SEO service needs, but I don't want to waste too much time here. Let's keep going. So let's talk about micro workers and the effectiveness of micro workers inside of international campaigns. Now, we all know for local campaigns, I'm in the United States, that could be international for you, but I have a lot of international people, business owners that I talk to. So I want to go ahead and share this with you. So here's what we went ahead and did. We set up a 100-click campaign. Now, when I say a 100-click campaign, what that actually entails is 100 clicks were purchased, okay, from a company like Microworkers. There's other microworker brands out there. Please note this, all right? When I say microworkers, that doesn't just mean microworkers, okay? That just means we were purchasing micro work jobs between 4 cents and 20 cents per actual action. Okay, you can buy these clicks just like you can buy clicks from Google. All right, so what we were going ahead and doing for a international user was we initially purchased 100 clicks. These 100 clicks would actually click through for the course of 2 weeks, and then we track the results to see, hey, was this a effective strategy for international business owners? So let's go ahead and take a look here. So we have a map scan, as you can see here. You can go ahead and take a look at this. This is actually a friend of mine where we were testing this. It's just a friend of mine. But in any case, if you take a look here, you can see that here's the initial campaign. Here's the window. We ran a really big scan here. Here's where the business is located. you best be doing really good right where the business is located. But with that being said, we can see here this was on the 6th. And as we moved into the 24th, all right, so after we ran our campaign for, again, 2 weeks, this was the result. We were able to move up and plus start bringing up a little bit more. So, needless to say, international traffic for international campaigns, yes, it was effective, but not as drastic as what we were expecting. So, mind this, all right? So let's keep going. All right, now this is a very common question that I receive, and I have a feeling that this will go ahead and answer some questions that you might have had, pertaining to this video at least. I get this one a lot. So adding your actual geo modifier or city or town, all right, to the business name. All right. So you know that adding in particular keywords can be highly effective for your business. Now, what if you were to add keywords, secondary keywords, and also a geo modifier or a location to the actual business name? Will this actually help your rankings? Or does this name in the business of a location, it helps, right? That's how I went ahead and wrote this. It helps, right? That's what everybody says. Well, in this particular case, wrong, all right? Kind of. And what I mean by kind of is we have 3 instances here. These were 3 separate tests. Either they were donor tests, they were setup tests, or they were just tests that of an actual campaign or an actual business. Okay, now with what we found out here was, yes, this is why I wrote kind of, adding a geo modifier to your business location, all right, it does cause your business to get a temporary increase in rankings. Temporary. But when I'm talking to business owners, they don't want their phones to ring temporarily. They don't want traffic temporarily. They need consistent and persistent gains over the long term. They want it to be a strategy that can be utilized for weeks, months, years, decades, right? So what I would highly recommend is, hey, if you want to get if you want to roll the dice and add in some geo-modified details into your business name, sure, you'll get a temporary increase. And this is also a nice way that I've seen, other business owners spike their metrics. Say they're showcasing something on their websites. They'll hurry up and change that. They'll get a quick spike. It'll light up the GeoGrids bright green temporarily, so long-term success, I highly recommend brand. Yes, it will take you a little bit longer to reach the finish line, but at least establish the brand's business name, maybe a keyword, all right? From the very beginning, you'll have much better long-term success, all right? So let's go ahead and move into the very next test. So let's take a look at this. And again, these tests were ran at seomastermind.org. All right. We run 2 to 3 tests per week. And on top of that, we take care of any type of services, consultation, anything that you need to reach the finish line at chrispalmermarketing.com. But take a look at this though. Does PR, and when I say PR, what I mean by PR is a press release. Now, out and about in internet land, Facebook groups, marketing forums, right? Internet land, groups and forums, okay? Even within, say, your local business forums, in the white hat community and the gray hat community, all right? It's often been said that, a service area business, especially recently, and we're in 2022 right now, I believe it's September the 25th, I believe, of 2022. So it has been increasingly difficult to get a service area business, a SAB, to rank, as opposed to its counterpart that's showcasing their address, right? So in this instance, we had a service area business, an alarm installation company, all right? Now we went ahead and we pulled all the stops. We created what you can see here. This is a press release. And what I went ahead and did is I noted a 1, 2, and a 3 to showcase what we included inside of a press release. Now, this particular press release is, it's not your low-level press release that is a, they will have private blog networks that are masked as press releases. This isn't what I'm talking about. Now, this is not a high-level press release distribution, like your AP News is, Market Watch, Digital Journal, all the Yahoo sites, and the list goes on, right? This is your mid-tier, where you get 300 to 500 posts, Market Watch, Digital Journal, Benzinga, these types of sites, right? Your mid-shelf. So this is a mid-shelf PR distribution for a service area business. Inside of this press release, we did all of the working methods in order to help boost the SAB. And here's what I mean by this, and here's the links that we utilized. So like I mentioned on that previous slide, we did a 1, 2, 3. And here's what we did. So if you take a look here, you have used location anchor includes MREID and the CID. If you have no idea what the heck that means, MREID is the machine readable entity ID, all right? Now, the CID is the customer identification. These are machine codes and customer codes that are given to every business owner, okay? Now, what we did here is, as you can see here, we have our google.com maps question CID, so the customer identification with the knowledge graph pop-up, and we included the machine readable ID. This is very, very common for getting a slight edge, okay? We utilize that with a location anchor text, meaning where we wanted to rank, we made this link the anchor text of the location. So we're associating this location, this anchor, with the business and the CID, okay? That's the thought process with this. And this can be effective at scale, but it becomes very costly to do this right, okay? So next we did this, number 2, primary keyword anchor for brand plus location includes machine readable entity ID. So as you can see here, here is the string. We utilized our primary keywords here for this business. We added a map embed, that was number 3. And of course, this was distributed across 500 websites. So this isn't just a run-of-the-mill, it wasn't a set it and forget it type thing where it's just a tool. 500 sites, map embed, 2 very potent links pointing to very specific locations, and the results were very clear, unfortunately, for this business. So press release within a week, and I've tested it. We don't just test things inside of SEOmastermind.org one time. These are very repetitive. I'm just showing one test, okay? But the result is clear. All right, so just so you know, all right? So when we come inside here, as you can see here for the business, 1 week later, it had no impact on the visibility of the SAB for the primary keyword or the location plus keyword, all right? Now, some might rebuttal, hey, maybe you didn't do it long enough, you need to run traffic. There's a trillion rebuttals. But what we were looking at here is, does this thing affect this thing? And the answer is no, it does not. No, it does not. Now, if we were able to significantly increase the amount of traffic through there, yes, that can give us slight edge. And this has been tested as well. However, that's not what we were testing here. All right, just so we're both on the same page. There's a lot of additional work that needs to take place. So if you're on internet land and you're reading, just note that there's additional steps, additional money that needs to be spent in order to get the results that are being claimed. Okay, so just so we're both on the same page, let's keep going here. Maps engagement. I've seen multiple social signal. I remember in 2015, 16, 17, social signals were all the squawk. Right, I heard squawking from everybody. I never did this. However, I did like to get, there are people talking about, right? Like Facebook will say that. People are talking about this brand. Or perhaps sometimes Twitter, how you get that run rate underneath, like when stuff is getting shared. These, along with link building, are definitely proven to at least assist with websites. But that's not what we're talking about here, okay? What we're talking about here is maps engagement. So getting user engagement on reviews to the tune of 300 plus engagements in a very short period of time. So do thumbs up or engagements inside of the maps reviews actually, help with actual ranking increases? Well, the answer was very, very clear. We had a business owner. I think on this one, unfortunately, I think we only ran through the basic test. We did 300 engagements inside of maps. I had to strip that out. But what I can share is this. This is what I'm talking about, these engagements. All right. This business owner had about 125 or 150 literal reviews. And we went in there with, I think, 2 or 3 separate accounts, and we literally put engagement on every single, on all of them. So like to the tune of 300. Little to no movement at all. So if you're spending money on this, or if you're doing this, or if you feel that this is helping you in any way, I assure you we've done this on 2 separate accounts, real accounts, and saw nothing. On the second test that we ran this on, I think we had like 10 or 12. A friend of mine in the group has tons of accounts. We went in there and just lit it up just to see, like, the whole thing. Nothing. Maybe slight movement, but that could be attributed to almost anything. All right. So just don't spin your wheels on this one. All right. All right. So let's talk about photos in reviews. Okay. So this one comes up quite consistently. There's 2 things that are going on. Okay. And what we like to do at SEOmastermind.org is we want to test stuff that's practical. We also want to test stuff that if we hear something, the squawking that I was talking about, if I hear something, I want to test it out. If I hear somebody says something works and it can help my clients or my business, I want to know. So this is something that if you have a business, all right, and we're going to talk about this. If you have a business, let's take this business. I took a picture. Up here would usually be the maps listing, where your name, address, phone number is located, right? Underneath are the most relevant reviews. So generally Google is going to pick 3. Now in this case, there was only 2, but generally there's 3 here. And the sort order is by relevance, okay? So the normal standard sort order of the reviews is done by relevance, or what Google deems relevant, all right? Now, why this can be very, very effective is adding photos, something very easy inside of your reviews, can drastically improve the better reviews that you're already receiving. And what I mean by this is if you already have a high quality client or past customer, somebody that you really care for, somebody that you've dealt with intimately, they're willing to go and leave a review on your business, you've helped them out significantly, it's a mutual exchange. They have no problem maybe taking a picture of a job that you did, or maybe you put up a fence, or maybe you crack their back. I don't know what kind of business you're in. But if they could just do one more, it's simply just an upload. It doesn't even have to be relevant. It should be. But still, a picture of a picture. It could be a black blob. It could be a green lion. It could be a lemon. But a picture added in. Literally, the reason why I said those is because we tested those images. So I know it doesn't matter on the image. Okay? But simply having an image will make the review more relevant. Now, as a side note, what I would like to maybe go ahead and share with you is if you're ever having an issue here, in the review section, and say there's negative reviews have been chosen as the most relevant, and you want to push those down, like maybe you can't get rid of them, but at least the top 10 right before they have to go looking at reviews, will all be positive results with images. So you're able to push down negatives. And if you have the most relevant reviews, also Google will choose positive results up here instead of negative results, because that's the last thing you need. You have 200 reviews, some jerky boy goes in there, or lady goes in there, leaves you 1 or 2 bad reviews, and the customer doesn't see the 100 good ones. They only see the 1 or 2 negatives. There might not even be a review there. So you want to push those down. You want to make sure that because they're totally irrelevant. 99.9% of your reviews are positive. So you want to get those negatives off of there so you can get the calls, get the phone ringing. All right. So this can help you out massively. I hope this is a big one. So I hope that this helps you out. All right. CTR tool test. Now, I've actually shared this before on this channel, but if you're new here, first and foremost at SEOmastermind.org and ChrisPalmerMarketing.com. Me, Chris Palmer SEO, I don't promote anything. I'm not sponsored by anything. I have no affiliate links other than in the comments, which is below the video. All right. I'm not here to promote. That's not why I'm sharing it. It's just something that we've tested, that we heard a lot of buzz about, right? So we tested this tool here. So here's the listings that we had. So we have a office clearing building here. This is in a city. I believe it's a relatively small city, but in any case, we have a before. All right, and this is a CTR tool. And I assure you, regardless of the tools, and I know that there's some new really cool tools out there, but the results that you're about to see are very, very common. What you will find is for the time that the tools are running, you'll see an improvement. You'll see a more dramatic improvement depending on the population size of the area that you're in and how many businesses are in a selected area in which you're trying to target. So say this small little town in an easy niche, we were able to see a very drastic improvement. And what I mean by drastic is when you take every single pin and take it from number 4 into the map pack, that's a dramatic result, right? Like, hey, we pushed every single one of these into the map pack in a 5 or 10 mile radius. Like, that is excellent, right? Now, what we have found is in more competitive markets. If you take a look at this, all right, same city, different industry. It's a lawyer. I can't share I can't tell you who it is, not on this one, but I can assure you that this is a lawyer niche or attorney type niche. Left is before, right is after. Yes, we saw an improvement, but there's other businesses in that area. It's a higher competition. And as you can see, it wasn't as dramatic. All right. So this is pretty consistent across the board with a lot of tools, but of course there's always new cool tools coming out. But be on the lookout. If you're in a lower, the reason why I say this is these tools aren't cheap. If you're a small business owner and you're seeing these results being broadcasted to you, you get excited. You think you get a silver bullet, right? Oh, ranking on a platter, leads on a platter. But I want to let you know, if you're in a more competitive market, this is not the silver bullet, I assure you, okay? There's a learning curve, there's consistency, there's time, there's fees, there's it's wait your time. It will be so much worth it for you. Unless you know exactly what you're doing, I hope this helps you out. All right, so take a look at this. Again, same exact area, 2 different niches. All right, let's keep going on. Hours of operation was the actual last thing that I shared. There was 11. I had to skip over a few because they tie into another presentation that I'm doing, but I shared with you the ones that I knew that would help a business out that are actually practical. I held those in. The other ones tie into secondary tests that are for the other presentation. Like, they're not direct tests, they're additional, right? Like, oh, hey, check this out, and this led to this, okay? But hours of operations, here's what we found, all right? So I had a listing in Los Angeles, actually. So this was a business in Los Angeles. And what we did is when we initially set this business up, we set it up from 9 to 5. Okay, so normal business banker hours, at least in the United States. So when we set this business up, we noticed that during the times that the business was closed, it ranked significantly lower than when the business was open. So here's what we did. I went inside of the business and I updated the hours of operation, not only online, but also the physical business location hours. I increased them just up to 24 hours a day, except for the days that they were closed. I didn't do it across the board. The days they're closed, the days they're closed. And what we found is that we were actually getting a lot more availabilities. We were getting a lot better rankings throughout the day. We were getting more phone calls. We did a lot better when the hours were actually open. So the main takeaway here is, if you can add additional hours, or maybe on your online hours, your online business hours, make those 24/7. For your hours, if you can market and you have a calling service, it might be in your best interest to open a little earlier if you have a calling service, and close a little later. This way you can capture more leads. Even if it's only one extra per week, it could be potentially worth it for you. All right, just by one little tweak. So that's going to wrap it up for this particular presentation. My name is Chris Palmer. You can learn more with me and the group at SEOmastermind.org. Of course, if you need services, anything to do with linking, pretty anything that I can help you with, services.chrispalmermarketing.com. Again, I'm Chris Palmer. If you have any questions related to Google Maps, local SEO, or anything that we talked about in today's video, please feel free to go ahead and ask in the section below. And I always look forward to seeing you in the next How to Rank Google My Business in Google Maps video. Have a wonderful day. Actually, have a wonderful night. Bye-bye. I felt like I was talking forever on that one. That was fun, right? Hopefully that helps you out. I couldn't share everything. But I gave you half. All right, now let's see if you have any questions while we're here. I know it's the middle of the night. I understand that. If you enjoyed the video, please a thumbs up would be helpful. Give me one question. If you will you please ask any questions related to the talk or anything else, please feel free. I would really appreciate that. Please ask any questions that you have. Feel free. And Gibbous Wolf, thank you. I appreciate that. I skipped over a few. And that was right off the head. There's nothing, I don't know how good it flowed, but just off the data. I wing it. I wing all my videos. I know this stuff like the back of my hand. All right. I need to write it down. I live it every single day. I love you guys, man. I love doing this. I get a lot of biters, but I get a lot more positivity, and I really appreciate it. So if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and ask. I have some other cool stuff that I might share with you today. Not might. I'm going to share it no matter what, but hang tight. I gotta take care of Hayes. Hayes is my dog. 1 second. Dude, running from my magic. I met a kid named Louie Lou. He thought he could mess with this. All right. All right, so let's take a look here. Is this a public video this time? Yes. Yeah, this one will be public facing. Sorry about that. Hey, Chris, how are you doing? I'm doing great. Thank you for asking, my friend. And Kyle says this is legit. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that. Hey, champion, I enjoy your videos. I enjoy making them, Maddie. Maddie, how you been, man? Good to see you. Wonder how my good friend Maddie's doing. Let's go take a look and see. Maddie and I used to work together. He made the fatal error. A fatal error my good friend Maddie made. He made an error. A small error. But he's still a great guy nonetheless. That is a fact. And I wish him nothing but the best. But let's go check him out and see how he's doing. So chauffeur Melbourne. So before I left, my guy was ranking number 2 in organic. And he was in the map pack. Let's go see how he's doing. Maybe he's doing better. I hope you're doing better. Well, here, we better search from there. Melbourne, UK. Geocode. All right, so we're in Melbourne. We're going to change our geolocation. Maybe that could be throwing it off. Okay, you're running ads. Good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I won't click it. All right, good. Perfect. And good. Awesome. Dude, I am so happy to see this for you. I'm glad that everything is working out good for you, brother. Excellent. I'm glad that everything is going good. Good to see you, and I'm glad everything is going good for you, Maddie. Maddie's a very nice guy, very good guy. So I'm glad you're page 1. You're sitting up here in maps, and you're sitting up here in ads. That's the top 3 places. Any business owners, that is always what you need to, if you're watching, if you end up seeing this, I cannot stress that enough. And the reason is because you want to increase the EPC of this page, of this search page. So the probability of you gaining a click for your business based on your primary keyword increases dramatically by being in those 3 places. So hats off to you, my friend. I know it's been a while. It took you a while, but I'm glad you're up there. Let's take a look down here. You're the man. Appreciate all your work. It's my pleasure. I'm glad to help. Does tilting pics with keywords still work? Heard Google stopped or rediced it affect? Does tilting pics with keywords, what? I don't understand what you mean by that. I have no idea what you're talking about. Does tilting pics with keywords still work? Not for maps. I never did that. Usually for maps, what we focus on here, we can take a look at that chauffeur in Melbourne that we talked about. If you take a look down here, let's see here. We'll see if the optimization is still how. Yep. So this is what I generally do when I optimize the business listings. I optimize utilizing the logo so it's uniform. So this way your cover photo, your logo, your products, and of course your website is going to have the same color scheme, the branding, the footprint, everything is very on point, right? Plus you're feeding in the same imagery, the same logo consistently. And you'll know you're on the right path when you come in here and you check the entity. Are you being rewarded as an entity? Well, you were. You were. Actually, this is on one of your pages, so that's good. But you were sitting up in here. But still, generally you want to see the logo, especially if you can see your logo or one of your images sitting on top of a primary keyword entity box or bubble, however you want to look at it, okay? And the reason why I show it inside of images, image search has nothing to do with it. I show it inside of image search because they lay out the entity connection. Google just gives it to us, right? where you can see it more pronounced is inside of Bing. But Bing, at this point, at this present stage of the game, is slightly not relevant as Google for today, right? In 2022. Professor and the Rockera. I'm going to have to catch the playback. Hey, no problem, brother. Good to see you. I've been paying people to do this, but I need to understand this. Well, Professor, I'd be happy to share more stuff with you. Glad to help. James Slattery, super stuff, Chris. Thank you, James. I appreciate that, brother. Web user, hey, Chris. Hey, web user. Good to see you. I post a ton of pics. I update often. So that's another test. I can't share that one with you, but I assure you we tested this on 6 or 7 different accounts. Increase the amount of images and increase the amount of videos, like 50 a week for the next month, and watch how much, maybe not the video side, but definitely the images. Get 20 a month on the videos and watch your actual impression share increase massively, along with your rankings. Please note this, the reason why increasing impressions on side of images actually even matters, it doesn't, because we know that posts don't generate clicks, right? The probability of you generating 1 click out of 100 is probably what it's going to be, right? Generally, you'll get 1 or 2 out of 100, okay? Posts are almost useless. However, the difference between ranking number 5 and ranking in the map pack is clicks and traffic. All right, so any extra that you can get can be helpful. All right, so jack those up to those numbers. You will see a drastic improvement. I assure you, Professor. Timid Glasses, meant file name, title of pic. Does adding content on website about landmarks or restaurant related to area on CityGrid, your ranking low and help rise it? Or so, what's the best practice? No. All right, I tested this out. Let me show you an example of what this gentleman's talking about. So this is a good example. Here's a good example of your question. Actually, this particular one is... accessibility. This is not what we were looking for. It actually got smoked. I wonder what's going on. This one used to do a lot better, but here's the question that you were asking about, okay? So what you want to know is, do pages set up in this fashion help? Okay? So you have insights about multiple businesses, all right? You have bus stops, all right? but you want to rank for roofing in Troy, okay? The page is optimized roofing in Troy, okay? So let's go out here to Google. Let's see if this is the primary. I don't think this is the primary. I think it's roofing Troy, but I could be wrong. They're both the same. It's a very low competition keyword, like super low. This is a slam dunk. All right. Let's take a look at the H1 here briefly. Yeah, primary keyword roofing Troy, roofing Troy, roofing Troy. All right. So we have a primary keyword of roofing Troy. All right. Now, the reason why I do not like this, especially for ranking organically, is because as you get into the phrases and words that make up the page, you start having words that are non-relevant to the roofing, which is the primary keyword, right? So when you start diluting the actual densities or the actual page, it takes slightly away from them. All right, so that person is a moron. All right, so here we're back at it. Sorry about that. So in any case, organic rankings can be drastically depreciated by utilizing this type of information. However, where the ranking advantage is not necessarily in the actual it's very deceiving. All right, it can be effective for maps, but it has nothing to do with the layout, and it has everything to do, show you something, with the 90 outbound links to relevant sources that are authoritative. Okay, I'll show you something here. So if you're looking for a slight advantage, all right, for maps, outbound links to authoritative sources can be helpful. Now, this business previously was ranking in the map pack. There could be a number of reasons why it's not. However, where I feel the ranking increases, I feel strongly, as in I tested it and I know the answer. The answer lies in this. I'll show you something. Take a look at the amount of authoritative outbound links found on the page. Okay? There are, I believe, 90. 84. Okay? So you have your internal links. Don't get me wrong. Of course, there's the internal linking to the pages. Then you have authoritative outbound linking to a magnitude of different places. Now, it's really interesting about forecast is when you come over to, say, digital journal, okay, you come in here to, say, tech and science. Let's see if they listed it. Usually, what you'll see inside of authoritative press releases is sometimes they'll run the weather up in here, and a lot of times you'll find that they'll utilize a forecasting sequence that's very, 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 very similar to this one right here. So why I really like that as an outbound, not actually including the widget itself, but I like it as an outbound. Why? Because authoritative sources that are newsworthy often link to this exact property. And this is why this strategy can be helpful for maps. However, you can't muddy your pages though, because the clients don't want to see this. But where you can get a competitive advantage is by linking outbound to these authoritative sources in the surrounding areas. You can get the same effect without dirtying the page. And we've been implementing this. After we tested this, I've been implementing this. And now you know the strategy and you can do it too. I would be a little bit more mindful though about what you're pulling in. All right. So that, I hope that answers your question. I wanted to go in depth on that one. Yeah, it turned back on though for you. But yeah, that's how that goes there. And that will take care of that question you were asking about surrounding areas and restaurants. Steer clear of restaurants. If you're looking for a pretty good example, this is a pretty good example of where to link out to. And two, I would look for, let me see, Market Watch, or better yet, AP News. So come over here to AP News, World News. Let's see if they're still doing it. Click to copy. They have the 3 links. Close that up. Yeah, usually they'll run it depends on where it's located. Sometimes, like, see that they always have this information that's tied to a location. Usually they'll have something running up here. I forget which one it is. It might be Market Watch, but take a look at your authoritative press releases. You'll see this quite often. So, but that's where the power is derived from. So there you go. That'll be helpful. Alrighty. So, I think that about wraps it up. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock. All right. Uh-oh, I broke up. It's hard to rank music, lifestyle, fashion, beauty niche. Well, there's got to be caveats to that. The answer is no, it's not hard. But like, if you think you're going to go out and rank for Adidas or MAC or Physicians Formula or Good Music or GQ, then yeah, the probability is going to be difficult. And what I did there is I named out brands that are authoritative. So, like, are you going to rank for, like, hard to rank music? Like, would I want to rank against Capital Music Group or something that they're targeting? No way. So you still have to pick your in, just like with any niche, right? So I wouldn't go that broad. I would niche down, but you can rank inside of those niches. There's no problem. The question, though, is other than fashion, lifestyle, I don't know any good programs. So, but best wishes. Do not be discouraged. You can rank for sure. What are your thoughts on AI text to video stuff? Unique content being generated in video forms to try to rank on Google video search. I think it's great, but I don't put all your eggs in one basket. And if you're going to utilize it with caution and know that whatever works in the short term, like that's like on like Ted Kobitis, good friend of mine, great guy. He calls it fringe, like on the fringe SEO. This is the stuff that's on the fringe, right? Like you might get a ranking edge, but do I think that that's going to be a long-term successful way to generate traffic and dollars for you, your business, and your family? No, I do not. Do I think that there is a way to do it now? Yes. Yes, I do. Caleb Johnstone, what are the 3 main things to optimize to rank your GMB in the map pack? All right. Here. So I created a checklist. Okay. So this is a Google Business Profile checklist. Better yet, I don't think that my picture is ranking. All right, there's a video that I went through it. I don't think it's ranking. I just don't think that it's ranking. It's probably impossible to rank for Google Business Profile. Yeah, I got the video to pop in there. That's about it. But I did create a picture. Let's see if we got the no. Well, here. Oh, it was Google Business Profile Manager. Let's see. The chances of ranking for that are about 0 to none. That's why I went for it. I like stuff like that. It's fun. Let's see what the volume is on this. Hey, that's actually not so bad. Google Business Profile. Let's see what that is. 27,000. Gotta love it. Good job there, Chris. Here. Sometimes I lose my mind. I forget what I named this thing. Oh, here. Take a look at this. Share it with a friend. I actually made this myself. I don't know how it looks. It looked good to me. But here, I made this just for you. You know what I want to know? Is how did this guy get his to rank like that? Oh, he made one image. Oh, that's what I have to do. So check this out, Google Business Profile Manager. Okay. But here's the answer. All right. I was just checking my stuff selfishly. Temporary boost, the name. Clicks, traffic. How close are you to the business? How many businesses are near you? Have you built a footprint around the business? Are you getting clicks into the business? Are you getting traffic to the business? Are you answering your messages? Those are your top things. Like, those are your top. You know, go get an account. Like, are people sharing the account? Are you sending traffic into the account? Like, these are the things that will dramatically increase your rankings. I'll check the video. Glad to help. Side note, Chris, I use Blogspot as link juice. Why I noticed no views. I don't really use that. I used to use Blogspot for indexing, believe it or not. It used to be a relatively, dude, it used to work really good. It has not been working as good as it once did. So yeah, I don't know. I don't utilize Blogspot, my friend. So I'm sorry about that. Do you offer any service to help with suspended GMB profiles? Need help getting reinstated? No, I did create a video that can help you out. Usually it's a 50-50. Like, you have the reinstatement form, and then you get an email. So there's two ways to fill out the reinstatement form. One, you fill it out as a representative. Two, you do it as the owner. You fill out both, and it's literally a 50-50 shot. You got to make sure you do both, though. And if anybody says they have some funky way of doing it, they're full of it. They're submitting the forms for you, and they're praying, and then they're going to come with their hand out. All right? So do both of the ways to submit it. And it's literally 50-50, and I know that it's 50-50 because I tested it out on 22 accounts, and I know for a fact that it's a 50-50 shot if you get that account back. All right? It's like literally 50-50. It's actually leaning more towards your favor. So, but note though, if you get disabled or suspended and you go for reinstatement, when that comes back, I would not touch that thing. Like, don't even post. Just let it sit, because it's going to take months to regain any type of traction. Trust me. Or don't. do whatever you want, but I assure you that that's what's up. All right? All right, guys. 1 o'clock, and gals, business owners, my friends. All right. All right, I'm going to lay down. I'm going to bed. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to trim this video down till we get to that beginning section. If you have not already, please take the time, check it out at services.chrispalmermarketing.com. services.chrispalmermarketing.com. All right, so anything you need. So here's links, guest posts you get to choose. You can click on here and get a little sample of what we have to offer. All right, clearly we can't share them with you, but you can take a look at the topics. All right, along with that, you can take a look at the traffic, the trust flow, the DA, or the DR. We offer our link pricing based on DR. DR is an Ahrefs metric. All right, so we base everything off of this scoring system right here. All right, so it's up to you. You get to choose, and you can post your own content. All right, so this is a la carte. What we do inside of here is this is where you get on to the newsletter, press release distribution. We have local citations. I have an entity tool that's pretty closed down. I might allow maybe 1 or 2 more people on it, but this is about to just be an internal tool coming up soon. We want to actually roll this into another tool, so that way it'll do the entity extraction, and got something better coming. All right, I like making little tools, just stuff to make my life easy, but I have something new that you guys will really like that'll be very inexpensive, of course. Content writing. Of course, this is SEO content. This is an SEO writing service. Yes, he's a US writer. It's my brother. It's his wife to be. They write a lot of content, all right? They'll do it fast or they'll do it slow, all right? Slow as in 7 to 10 days. If you want it fast in 3 to 4 days, it costs a little more, all right? But this, you get put in the queue. This right here, you'll jump to the front of the line, all right? Now, with that being said, that ought to wrap it up. Don't forget about the SEOmastermind.org. However, the SEOmastermind.org is changing over again, right? I like to try new things. I like to see how things go. I always learn the hard way. But I learn lessons as I go, just like the rest of you. You know, I'm growing a business. You know, things happen, mess ups happen. It is what it is. I want to make sure that it's cemented in. I try different things out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but we keep moving forward. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Many blessings. If there's anything that I can do for you, ask in the section below. If you want to book a session with me, go ahead. If there's any services I could help you with, if you just need free advice, just ask. I answer the questions. I'll be happy to help you for free. You know, just write it down below. I will answer you. All right. Many blessings. Good night. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.